Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Stay In for our Friday night quiz. I think my face just popped up on the screen for a few seconds instead of the wait screen. I'm not quite sure if it did. Sorry. Yeah, I'm back to normal this week. No face paints or anything. I had lots of interesting comments throughout the week from people about that. But yeah, I had great fun last week dressing up as Gene Simmons. And seeing you dressed up as well. But yeah, a lot more normal attire tonight, so you can just get used to my normal ugly mug. So yeah, it's our virtual pub quiz week this week. So I'll explain a little bit about that in a few moments. Just seeing lots of people logging in at the moment, saying hello. So we got Malcolm, Graham, Kim, Janice, Anne. We've got the Woodhill Wonders just come in. Yes, lots of the regular names coming in. I hope you're ready for a good evening. Yeah, so I'd said it's virtual pub crawl this week, and I was hoping that we'd have a few local publicans who would come on and ask some questions and talk about their pubs and so on. I contacted about 15 different pubs, and I had quite a few who were interested, but unfortunately they haven't been able to get their videos ready in time. Yeah, they should be with me over the next day. So I'll either do it as a special bonus midweek round for you, or alternatively we'll roll it over until next week. See if I can put it into whatever we do next week. Don't worry, it is still a virtual pub crawl. I've got lots of pub related things going on, and I did ask if you got out and took any selfies of yourself in front of your favourite pubs. I've got a few, so here are some pub crawl going on. Yes, so we have got the Rose and Crown. It's Graham and Alison, or Eli's. Fantastic little pub in Somerset there. I first heard about it before I knew Graham and Alison. I read it in a book of interesting pubs, because there isn't actually a bar there. It's a tap room. So yeah, there's no bar. It's just all around the edges. Really interesting pub. If you're ever in Langport, or Hughespiscley, I should say, shouldn't I, Graham and Alison, go and visit Eli's, the Rose and Crown. We've got Lisa in Basingstoke, and I forgot to write the name of your pub there. Was it the White Horse or something like that? Please send me a message, because I've got that on a different piece of paper, not in front of me. And then I've got my parents, the three there. They did their own mini pub crawl. So in the middle, the long one, you've got the California Hotel in Bryn Terg. The top right there, the Breeze Hill in Bentley. And then the bottom right, the Panton Arms, which is the pub I've probably most frequently frequented, which is in the village I grew up in back in Anglesey. Yes, many afternoon, evening in the Pant, even worked behind the bar there for a summer as well. So yeah, if you've got any more pictures, please send them through. There's plenty of pictures of me and pubs coming up during the quiz. So yeah, it's a shame we couldn't get any publicans on to help us out. But yeah, hopefully the videos will come through. We can do something with them later in the week. The White Hart, there you go, in Basingstoke. Thank you, Matt. Got the white something. Yes. Yeah, so hopefully we'll do something with that. Yeah, if anyone has been on the Cornish Times website, they picked up on what I was doing as well. So they featured it, and hoping to run an article next week about how we got on tonight, how the publicans did. So yeah, I'll have to, hopefully we can wind it in somewhere. Anyway, so this week's quiz, if you've been on the social media channels, I have published the picture round, which I will put up on the screen during the interval as normal. But this is it. It is 9 pub names in the form of dingbats. So hopefully they will get you scratching your heads a little bit. Yeah, so dingbats of pub names. If you're not familiar with dingbats, it's just a little image or words that give a hidden meaning. Yeah, yeah, pub quiz favourites. Used to do them quite often in the stag. Always went down well. So there you go. You can access them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'll put it up in the break as well if you'd like to have a better look at them. So we're going to have 3 rounds tonight, not the usual 4. We're going to have a 20-question pub crawl round to begin with, where I'll go through the pubs of southeast Cornwall, or 20 of them, and then we'll have our break where the picture round will come up, and then we'll finish off. We've got 2 rounds. We've got a round on numbers, so our numbers round, and then as requested we have a round on bridges. You tell me to do them, I will do them for you. So yeah, 20 questions for the virtual pub crawl round, and then we will go on to numbers and bridges. So I think I'm just about ready to begin. Just going to grab myself a quick drink. Here we go. My last few bottles of Harbour Brewery tonight. So if you want to comment what you're drinking, please do. I should be getting some from Foy Brewery. They're going to deliver some at some point, apparently. Yeah, so they've got a few nice local beers going. Larian Blonde is a nice one that I'm hoping to get hold of. So yeah, comment what you're drinking while I have a quick drink. What are our viewers like, Maddie?
34.
34 on tonight. And thank you for giving up your time to come to the stay in. So yeah, for this pub crawl round, I'm trying to do something a little bit different on screen. So we'll see how that all works out. Hopefully it will. There was a little bit of a problem when I was trying to set it up, but I think we're there. Here we go. Oh, good evening, Amy. Just come through with the dream team. So yeah, I think I'll move on to the pub quiz round, pub crawl round. So hopefully with a click of a button, you should see some pictures appear on your screen. So, you meant to see those. You meant to see those first. There you go. One was only joking with bridges. Well, you asked, you've got. So this week I have been and visited 20 pubs in the region, all around the St Clair Liskeard area, and taken a selfie outside all of them. They're not all the best pictures in the world, and I am pulling some funny faces because of the sun or wind or whatever that was going on at the time. But I'm going to take you round the pubs, and I'll ask you questions relating to all of these pubs. So here we go on the Stay In virtual pub crawl round. So let's get our first ones up. Here are your first 4. So in the top left-hand corner there, that is the Stag Inn in St Clair, where all of this started about 3 or 4 years ago. The fundraising quiz to raise money for a local playground. So I ran one quiz and it went down so well that I was asked to go back the next month, and it carried on, and we raised quite a bit of money for local causes. And then we stopped doing that and just did it for fun, and then the stag closed down. So I hadn't done quizzes since then, until I did these. So yeah, so the top left there is the Stag Inn in St Clair. Next to it you've got the Market, again in St Clair. It's just around the corner, only about 100 yards apart. And bottom left you've got the Crow's Nest Inn, which is just about 1.5 miles away in the hamlet of Crow's Nest. And then we've got the Wheel Tour Inn, which is a pub with quite possibly the best view around here. So there's 4 pubs for you. I'll give you now 4 questions related to them. I hope this all makes sense. So question 1 about the Stag Inn. If a male deer is called a stag, what is a female deer called? If a male deer is called a stag, what is a female deer called? Two possible answers to that one. I'll accept either. Question 2 at the Market in St Clair. So London's Smithfield Market is renowned for selling what type of product? London's Smithfield Market is renowned for selling what type of product? Moving to the bottom left to the Crow's Nest Inn. Lovely old pub. It's got outside toilets and somewhere to park your horses up outside. There's a table mat of some giant bellows as well. So yeah, Crow's Nest. Question 3. Where on a ship would you find the Crow's Nest? Where on a ship would you find the Crow's Nest? And the final one on these 4, the wheel tour. Lots of Cornish place names and sites have the word wheel in them. W-H-E-A-L, wheel. What does the word wheel mean in a Cornish place name or site? Ooh, Joe's drinking Wadworth 6X. Used to be Dad's favourite beer. I wrote it down in my family tree book. Okay, get some more pictures of me coming out. My next 4 pubs. Yes, I'll just name them as I do the questions. So the top left there, we've got the Victoria Inn in Pensilva, which is about 3 miles from here. I've stopped there a few times on bike rides a few summers ago. So, question 5. The Victoria Underground Station serves the Victoria Line and which other 2 underground lines? So you get 2 points for this one. The Victoria Underground Station serves the Victoria Line and which 2 other underground lines? And then the top right of those is the Village Inn. Small little place on the Rose Craddock Holiday Park down there. So the Village Inn, question 6, relating to the Village Inn. So number 6 here. The Village is the setting for which 1960s TV series about an intelligence officer who is captured and imprisoned? So number 6, The Village is the setting for which 1960s TV programme about an intelligence officer who is captured and imprisoned? There's an extra little link in there that some of you have probably spotted. I had to make sure I did the quiz in the right order. Question 7, bottom left there, that is the Halfway House, which is literally a stone's throw away from the A38 down in Two Waters Foot. So the Halfway House, here is our question. Who sang about being halfway there, living on a prayer? Who sang about being halfway there, living on a prayer? And question 8, so the bottom right there, that is the London Inn in St Neot. So a question about London. How many of London's international airports lie within the M25? How many of London's international airports lie within the M25? Are we still playing this drinking game where you drink whenever I do? So as you can see, I've cycled to quite a few of these places, so I'm looking a little bit hot and bothered because the weather was baking the other day. I look a little bit worse for wear in some of them. So let's go on to our next ones. Some of these were just taken today, in fact. So top left is the Highwayman. That is one of the pubs who was going to submit us some questions. I spoke to them earlier on, and they're going to get them to me ASAP, so look out for them introducing some questions at some point. So So yeah, the Highwayman in Doppels, quite close to where I work. I've been in there plenty of times. So, a question about the Highwayman. Who wrote the famous poem The Highwayman? Who wrote the famous poem The Highwayman? And yes, we are on the game where I drink, you drink. Excellent. And if we continue from Doppels, we get to the village of Julo, where you'll find the top right there, which is the plough. That is the plough in Julo. So the plough, or the Big Dipper, is a constellation made of 7 bright stars from which larger constellation? The plough, or the Big Dipper, is a constellation made up of 7 bright stars from which other constellation? Question 11, down in the bottom corner, that is the Cheese Ring Hotel in the village of Minions. It's the highest pub in Cornwall at 995 feet. So yeah, just brilliant for a stop off after a long walk on the moors. But your Cheese Ring related question. Question 11, Cornish yarg is usually wrapped in what? So the Cornish yarg is usually wrapped in what? Oh, Liz is not happy with these questions, oh dear. And Amy's not happy that I didn't call in and say hello. Is anybody happy with me tonight? No, she wasn't in school. You dumb questions for Liz, okay. Bottom right here, the Carradon Inn, the village of Upton Cross, just across the road from Sturt's Theatre, if anyone knows it. So Carradon is also the name of a hill round here which has a TV transmitter mast on it. So I would like to know, in which year did the switch over from analog to digital TV happen in the West Country? You've got options here: 2007, 2009 or 2011. So when did the switch over from analog to digital TV happen in the West Country? 2007, 2009 or 2011? You can at least have a guess at that one, Liz. Let's find some more pictures for you. Yeah, I know it's a pity they weren't open when I visited. I don't think I'd have got back home if they were all open. And I'd have been a lot worse off in the wallet as well. So now we're moving on to top left. There is the village of Rilla Mill and the Manor House, opening up as a shop and a takeaway at the moment. Should have said the Carradon Inn is opening up as a village shop at the moment as well. It's got all sorts of things in there, anything you could ever want at the moment, it seems. But yeah, question 13, the Manor House in Rilla Mill. Manor Farm was the setting for which George Orwell novel? Manor Farm was the setting for which George Orwell novel? Oh no, Mum and Dad don't even know the answers. I had a new tester this week as well. Mrs. B had a go for me and said she knew all but 3 and could guess, but some of them were guesses. So she said it was set about right. My other test teams as well seemed quite happy. Oh dear. Always get these bad vibes from you sometimes. Then the pink pub is the Albion. We're into Liskeard town centre itself now. So Albion, they just had a new mural outside, which you can just see in the corner there, promoting their live music. But the Albion. So in 1867, New Albion was a suggestion for the name of which country during its confederation? New Albion. It was suggested as a name for which country during its confederation, and that was in 1867. Oh, Graham likes the range of questions. Well, you did very well at Jay's quiz last night, didn't you? Not happy with Jay. I've had to rewrite my quiz because he happened to ask some of the same questions as me. Then we go down to the White Horse, right in the centre of town again. So the White Horse. In which English county would you find the Alton Barnes White Horse? So in which English county would you find the Alton Barnes White Horse? It's the big white horse that you see on the hills. And then bottom right there is the Red Lion, which is tucked away around one of the little back streets in Liscard there. It's the Red Lion. Liz, I'm hoping this one is suitable for you. I hope. So the Red Lion. What is the name of the main character in The Lion King? Give me a thumbs up, Liz, please. Okay, we got 4 more pubs in our pub crawl. There we go. So the top left there is a barley sheaf, which is closed down at the moment, but there's a community group looking to take it on as a community venture. Oh, well done, Liz. So yeah, the barley sheaf up there. So your question about barley, had to rewrite this. This is one that Jay used yesterday, but here's my new question. In Italy, barley is occasionally used as a substitute for which popular drink? So in Italy, barley is sometimes used as a substitute in which popular drink? Okay, next up we've got the King Doniet. That's our local Wetherspoons that opened up 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I'm not sure. Yeah, named after King Doniet Stone just outside St Clear here. So your question about the King Doniet. It is a Wetherspoons pub. In what year did the first Wetherspoons pub open? Was it 1979, 1989 or 1999? In what year did the first Wetherspoons pub open? 1979, 1989 or 1999? Just a couple of questions to go in our pub crawl. The bottom left there is the White Hart. We've already mentioned a White Hart already that Lisa visited. This White Hart though is Menheniot. And I would like to know, what was the name of the stop motion clay figure created by Tony Hart in the 1970s? What was the name of the stop motion clay figure created by Tony Hart in the 1970s? And finally, in this round. You've got the Sportsman's Arms there, lower clicker, just outside Menheniot. Well, it's in fact over the road from Menheniot train station, because that's not actually in the village of Menheniot. But Sportsman's Arms, it's the first of these pubs I ever visited. I stayed there overnight when I came down for a job interview. So your question about the Sportsman's Arms. Who is the only sportsman to have won the BBC's Sports Personality of the Year 3 times? Who is the only sportsman to have won the BBC's Sports Personality of the Year award 3 times? And there is your whistle-stop tour of 20 pubs in the vicinity of St Cleer. Like I said, I was hoping that some of the publicans would come along and help out. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to happen, but we will catch up with them either midweek on social media or during next week's quiz. So yeah, but a quick change, and we managed to fit all of those in as well, which actually made quite a nice round, I think. I hope. Anyway. So yeah, that brings to end the first round, a bit of a monster round there of 20 questions. And we've got our numbers and bridges round to come afterwards. Let me come off that there, should be back full screen, there we go. So yeah, it's interval time. So I'll put up the dingbats for you, if you'd like another look at those. And we'll have about a 5-minute break or so to use the facilities in the stay in, if you want to pop to the bar as well, get some refreshments, and then settle yourself back in, and we'll do the answers to the pub crawl round. So here are your dingbats, 9 pub names, and then I'll speak to you in about 5 minutes. Hello, welcome back. I hope you've all managed to top up your drinks and use the facilities in the stay in during that time. I managed to pour myself another beer and find some chocolate actually. Now, you probably don't want to know what I'm drinking and eating. So here I am again. Can I say a big hello to Jane, who's joined us from Edinburgh? Can't get on the chat. And hi to Natalie. She can't get on the chat either. So yeah, that was our virtual pub crawl around the pubs around here. I really enjoyed actually kind of finding them all out, visiting them. Some that I've never drunk in, although quite a lot of them I have at one point or another. So yeah, it was really interesting. I was on my way back from taking some of those pictures, and somebody came on the radio talking about pubs and how important they are to local communities and how we miss them so much. So yeah, when they do open, go and use your pubs. Visit them or lose them at the moment, really. Especially when they reopen, it's going to be very hard for them. And so many of them are doing things for communities at the moment. My mum and dad had a pizza from their local pub the other week. Quite a few of the ones that I've mentioned, they're doing little things at the moment as well, just to keep them ticking over and to help out the community. But yeah, it really is a British kind of institution, isn't it? The pubs. But yeah, I love a good pub, which is why I go on about them so much. Yeah, there's nothing better than going out and socialising, is there? There's always somebody to talk to in a pub. So yeah, should we do some answers? Do you want all the pictures back up of me and the pubs when we're doing the answers? Just comment if you do, and I'll see what I get through from you, or whether you just want me big screen talking about them. Yeah, so let me know, do you want the pictures or not? I'm going to get a quick drink while I wait for some comments. Cheers to those playing the drinking game. 2 sips there. Yeah, so if you like that idea, then there are a few more pubs that I can get to and take pictures of myself outside of. That are just a little bit further afield. Might need a bit more planning. Especially if you have a beach day down near Loo somewhere, Maddie. I can go and take pictures of pubs. Rolling their eyes at me. So I'm not getting any comments through. So either you don't care or it's just very slow. I don't know. What do you reckon, Maddie? Should we have the pictures up again?
Yeah.
Maddie says, yeah, there you go. So, those are all the pubs. I'll just remind you of them. So let's go back to the start. There! That's not the start. They all come out of order. There you go, there's the start. So, question 1. Stag Inn in St Clear. If a male deer is a stag, a female deer, it's either a doe or a hind. I'll accept either, doe or a hind. We have the Market Inn in St Clear. Question 2. Smithfield Market is renowned for meat and poultry. Oh, quickly wants question 20 again. The only sportsman to have won BBC Sports Personality of the Year 3 times. There you go, Joe. Then we went down to the Crow's Nest. You would find the Crow's Nest on the mast of a ship. Question 4. The Wheel Tour Hotel there. The word wheel in a Cornish place name or landmark means a working, or more commonly a mine. It means a place of work, a working, but that is generally a mine around here. So yeah, a working or a mine will be accepted. Question 5 was the Victoria in Pensilva. So it's on the Victoria Underground Station is on the Victoria Line, and also the District and Circle lines. Maddie's just talked herself out of those answers. I hope some of you got the link here. Yes, number 6. The village was the setting for The Prisoner. Of course, The Prisoner was number 6. Question 7. The Halfway House down there. Who sang about being halfway there, living on a prayer? It was Bon Jovi. Then we moved on to the London Inn in St Neot. So there are 2 of London's international airports inside the M25. It's London City, and Heathrow just about squeezes in. Then we moved on to the Highwayman in doubles. The poem was written by Alfred Noyes. Question 10. The Plough. So the constellation the Plough is made up of 7 stars from Ursa Major, or the Great Bear. Then we moved on to the cheese ring. So Cornish yard cheese is normally wrapped in nettles. That was question 11. Bottom right there, the Carradine Inn in Upton Cross. So the digital switchover happened in the West Country in 2009. The answer to number 2, Smithfield Market, was meat and poultry. So yeah, question 12, digital takeover, switchover was 2009. Okay, then we move on to the Manor House in Rilla Mill. So Manor Farm was the setting for George Orwell's novel Animal Farm. Question 14, the Albion, the pink pub in Liscard. So New Albion was suggested as a name for Canada. Then we went to the White Horse, and you will find the Alton Barnes White Horse in the county of Wiltshire. Question 16 was the Red Lion. Liz knew this one. The main character in The Lion King was Simba. And our final 4, we have the Barley Sheaf. Barley is sometimes used as a substitute for coffee in Italy. Makes an interesting espresso, apparently. And then we had the King Donyet, our local Wetherspoons, and the first Wetherspoons opened for question 18 in 1979. Question 18, 1979. And we moved to the White Hart in Menheniot. So the clay stop motion figure that was created by Tony Hart was Morph. Question 19 was Morph. And finally, the Sportsman's Arms. Question 20. The only sportsman to have won the Sports Personality of the Year 3 times is Andy Murray. Joe's after the answer to question 9. Alfred Noyes wrote the Highwayman. So there you go. Let me get back big screen. There you go. So yeah, if you'd like to just total up your scores, do you want to send them through? Yeah, if you send through your scores on there, and then we will just see how you're doing so far. I think we're on to possible 21 points there, because there were 2 points for the district and circle line. Yeah, so what scores are we getting so far? I'll just give you a moment to do that while I flick on to my next questions. Here we go. Right. I've lost the live chat now. There we go. 10 out of 20 for Liz. Half marks? Nothing wrong with half marks. How are we doing, Maddie? Alright, Maddie's not giving anything away. Okay, Graham's on 16. Malcolm's on 12. So you've only got 2 points behind Malcolm there, Liz. You can catch up. Woodhill Wonders are on 16. Smith Family on 14. Three's a crowd in Newcastle. Great quiz, thank you. Yep, if you ever come down here, then please come and join in. Yeah, come and visit the pubs. I'll quite happily show you them. Oh, Kim and Colin are both on 13. Tie between the usual Scarlets team there. We've got Anne on 14 as well. So it's not too much in it. 6 points. 6 points so far. So that's easily, you can catch up on that if you have a few good rounds there, Liz. Or Matt and Lisa storming into the lead here with 17. There we go. Right, yeah, so we've got 2 more rounds to go. Numbers round, and because it was suggested in jest, I will add, it was suggested in jest that we did a bridges round, so we have a bridges round. When I did the quiz up in the Stag, Pebble's team, I know you're watching at the moment, if you remember, somebody once requested a round on the pubs of Rochdale, and we managed to do a round on the pubs of Rochdale. So there you go. What's this? We got a 17.5. Where have we got a 0.5 from? Come on, where have you got a 0.5 from, Quirky? Should we move on to round 3, which is our numbers round? Yeah, I remember when the stag one, somebody wanted a tenth of a point for something. I can't remember what it was. Medical round. We had a drugs round last week. Yeah, but if you want to request a round, we'll do that at the end of the quiz, shall we? So round 3 is numbers. All of your answers to this round are numbers. Okay, so you don't have to think of anything apart from a number. And one of the questions here had to be rewritten after Jay's quiz last night. So round 3, question 1. How many legs does an insect have? Oh, came in her Titanic round. We'll see. We'll see. Sure, I could do a Titanic round somehow.
But you'd do it about the boat, not the film.
I would do it about the boat, not the film, would I? I probably would, yeah. Question 2 in the numbers round. How many kings of England have been called William? So how many kings of England have been called William? It's a number, Maddie. Question 3. How many players are there on a netball team? How many players are there on a netball team? Around on the film, The Titanic. Question 4. This was originally going to be asking you how many sides a dodecagon has, but that was asked by Jay last night. Although he has a dodecahedron, which doesn't actually have any sides. We had that debate. But I've changed it now, so I would like to know, how many sides does an isosagon have? How many sides does an isosagon have? That is I-C-O-S-A-G-O-N. Isosagon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Question 5. How many drams are there in 1 fluid ounce? How many drams are there in 1 fluid ounce? I'm just smiling to myself because question 6, the record for the most Oscars is by the film Titanic. So Kim, you have a question. The record for the most Oscars in a single year is Titanic. It's tied with Ben-Hur and Return of the King. So I want to know, how many Oscars did the film Titanic win? You'd better get this right, Kim. Question 7. How many Gospels are there in the New Testament? How many Gospels are there in the New Testament? Round on Come On Midfield. Yeah, I don't think anybody else would know much about Welsh comedy programmes from the 90s. Question 8. What is the only number that is exactly double the sum of its digits? So what is the only number that is exactly double the sum of its digits? Kim's gone quiet on the chat since the Titanic question. Repeat question 1 now. Whoa, capitals and everything. How many legs does an insect have? Question 9. Which motorway connects London to Southampton? Which motorway connects London to Southampton? And finally, in the numbers round, how many moons does Mars have? How many moons does Mars have? That's all right, Kai. We're off the caps lock. I'm out of trouble. So give you a moment just to finalise any answers in that round, and then we'll move on with our final round, the round on bridges. Yes, so for those of you who don't know, I'm a little bit obsessed with bridges, which is why quite a few people suggested a round on bridges. So hopefully I've made it more user-friendly than a mastermind round on bridges. And they're not all strictly bridges. You'll see what I mean in a moment. I'm used to like numbers, oh dear. So round 4 is our bridges round. Question 1 in the bridges round. Which engineer designed the Royal Albert Bridge that links Devon and Cornwall? Which engineer designed the Royal Albert Bridge that links Devon and Cornwall? Question 2. Who had a hit single with Bridge Over Troubled Waters? Who had a hit single with Bridge Over Troubled Waters? Question 3. Which football team plays their home games at Stamford Bridge? Which football team plays their home games at Stamford Bridge? Oh, Kim, are you referring to question 2? Who originally had a hit with Bridge Over Troubled Waters? Oh, Maddie's now raising her hands up at me. Yes, I forgot to say the word originally, didn't I? That was really bad. Yeah, who originally had a hit with Bridge Over Troubled Waters? Can you have 2 points? Oh, go on, put both down. Go on, if you can name both. Well, I'd better check. It's only been in the charts twice now, hadn't I? Go on, if you can put down anyone who's had a hit with Bridge Over Troubled Waters, you can have a mark. Where are we now after all of this? Question 4. In a game of bridge, who gets to make the first bid? In a game of bridge, who gets to make the first bid? Question 5. The Bromford Viaduct is the UK's longest bridge. In which British city can it be found? Okay, so it's a motorway bridge. The Bromford Viaduct, which is a motorway bridge, is the UK's longest bridge. In which British city can it be found? Question 6. Which playwright wrote the play A View from the Bridge? Which playwright wrote A View from the Bridge? Question 7. In which English county would you find the Iron Bridge? In which English county would you find the Iron Bridge? question 8. The 2011 crime drama The Bridge was set in which 2 European countries? The 2011 crime drama The Bridge was set in which 2 European countries? Two questions to go on our Bridges round and in the quiz. So, Robert Bridges was appointed by King George V to which honorary position from 1913 until 1930? Robert Bridges was appointed by King George V to which honorary position from 1913 until 1930? And then the final question, question 10. Where would you find the Golden Gate Bridge? Where would you find the Golden Gate Bridge? Okay, so that brings us to the end of our Bridges round. What I'll do, as usual, I'll put on the picture round just for a couple of minutes in case you need to argue over answers or anything like that, or get yourself a top-up. And then I'll return with the answers to the picture round first, and then to the numbers round and the Bridges round. So here are the pictures again, if you want one final look, and I'll speak to you again in a couple of minutes. Hello and welcome back. So the dingbats are up on the screen there for you. So I've just been sorting out a few questions. So apparently I've mispronounced. It's not isosagon, it's icosagon. Been corrected by a mathematician there. So there you go. But it still has the same number of sides, however you have it. So the dingbats, I'll leave them up on the screen while we go through the answers to these. If you could let me know when you're ready for the answers. Somebody give me a comment about the answers. Oh, tough rounds tonight. Apparently, yeah, tough rounds. Oh dear. Yeah, let me know when you're ready for the answers and I can go through those. Starting with the dingbats, then the numbers, then the bridges. And yeah, if you want to start thinking as well about any rounds you'd like to request, then please do so. And then I can see what I can put together for next week for you. I think I will be able to definitely do it next week. But as I said before, we'll see how I'm going now that I'm back to work more, how much I can fit in. So I'm just waffling away now, aren't I? Oh, we've got Graham is ready. There we go. So, dingbats round. Here we go. Lots of you ready. Brilliant. Dingbats round. So we'll do the left to right on the top row. So you have got there bird in hand. There are about 40 bird in hand pubs across the country. Then the next one is the rising sun. Oh, the wind and the rain is picking up here. We've got washing outside. Is that where you're going, Maddie? Okay. Then we've got the cricketers. On the next line, we've got the spread eagle. Then the Duke of York, followed by the cross keys. And on the bottom row, you've got white horse, halfway house, and Queen's Head. So those are your answers there. You hear lots of noise in the background. Yeah, the weather has really picked up. Maddie is madly rushing out, getting washing in. As the professional, I'm just going to continue going. She says continue, so I'm continuing. Okay, so answers to your numbers round here. All numbers is all you needed here. So question 1. An insect has 6 legs. Question 2. There had been 4 kings who have been named William. Question 3. There are 7 players on a netball team. Question 4. An icosagon has 20 sides. Question 5. There are 8 drams in a fluid ounce. Question 6. Titanic has won 11 Oscars, as did Ben-Hur and Return of the King. It's the record for the most Oscars won in a single year. No, not accepting Golden Eagle, Colin. Definitely the letters are spread out there. And it's more orange than gold on my screen. Got to be harsh. Question 7. There are 4 Gospels in the New Testament. Question 8. The only number that is exactly double the sum of its digits is 18. Question 9. The motorway that connects London and Southampton is the M3. And finally, Mars has 2 moons. So there you go. Well done, Maddie. And then we move on to our bridges round. So question 1. The Royal Albert Bridge was designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel. Question 2. Who had a hit with Bridge Over Troubled Waters? So I forgot to say the word originally. So originally it was Simon Garfunkel who had a hit with Bridge Over Troubled Waters. I've just done a bit of research and over 50 people have covered it. I presume that Kim was referring to last year's Artists for Grenfell, who got number 1 with it. So if you've got that, there you go. You can have that. If you can give me any other list suggestions that you have put down, there you go. We also said the NHS choirs had the mashup of Bridge Over Troubled Water and Fix You, which was, I've forgotten what it was called. So that was another one which covered it. But yeah, Simon and Garfunkel originally had a hit with Bridge Over Troubled Water. Elvis is another one who covered it, by the way. Question 3. Liz is saying Gareth Gates. Now, Maddie said Gareth Gates, but apparently it never charted. It's not on the list of people who charted with Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Yeah, Kim's got it.
Oh, hearsay. That's not on my list here either. Oh. Let me check up on that one. Question 3. The football team that plays their home games at Stamford Bridge is Chelsea. Question 4. In a game of bridge, it is the dealer who makes the first bid. Question 5. The Bromford Viaduct is in Birmingham. It leads up to Spaghetti Junction. Question 6. Arthur Miller wrote A View from the Bridge. Question 7. Iron Bridge, that's in Shropshire. Question 8. The bridge, it was set in Denmark and Sweden. The body was found on the bridge between the two countries. They needed both. Yeah, they needed both police forces to solve it. I'll give you 2 points for that one if you got both of them. Although I think they may be the only 2 European countries connected by a bridge, so there you go. Question 4 is the dealer, Liz. Question 9. Robert Bridges, he was appointed as Poet Laureate. And the Golden Gate Bridge is in San Francisco. So there you go, if you'd like to start totalling up. Pardon? I've got to just mark Maddie's answers for a moment.
Oh, you don't have to.
Oh, I'm going to pass them over to her. Yeah, Maddie's going to mark her. It's there. So yeah, if you'd like to just start sending scores through. Next week, yeah, I'm hoping that we'll get these publicans on board to help do some questions. In the meantime, I had great fun visiting all the pubs. So I'm just going to roll that over until next week. So if you'd like to go and visit some local pubs, you obviously can't go in. Well, unless they're doing takeaways or acting as a village shop or something like that, in which case you can go in, and please do go in. But yeah, go and find out where your local pubs are. Find out what they're offering at the moment, if anything. Take a picture, send it through, and then we'll do the same. I'll see if I can visit any more during the week, and we'll go from there. So we've got some scores coming through. I should also say, if you happen to be a publican who is watching this, please get in touch and we might be able to link up somehow. But yeah, here we go. Scores coming through. So we've got a couple of 41s. 31 from the Smith family. Glad you enjoyed the quiz there. Liz is on 33. We've got a 39 in Somerset. 39 for Kai and the lads. 32 37s coming through at once. Quirky has got 39.5 and is really cold out in the garden. I'm not surprised in this weather. It's just started bucketing it down. The bookshop team have got 35. I forgot to ask you, Bob and Francesca, after last week you split your team in half, didn't you? Only 2 of you could do it. Did it prove who was the brains or not? I never found out. I forgot to ask you. Malcolm, there we go. 27. It's over half marks. Don't hang your head in shame. Anyway, it's all about who's having fun, isn't it? Numbers round was tough for Matt. There you go. So there's quite a few of you with very similar scores. So we need a tiebreaker. So here is your tiebreaker. So you have just learnt that the Bromford Viaduct is the UK's longest bridge? So it's on the M6, leads up to Spaghetti Junction there in Birmingham. I would like to know, in feet, how long is the Bromford Viaduct? So the longest bridge in the UK, how long is it in feet? Give you a few seconds to put down an answer. If you want to send them through on the chat, we can see what you get putting down, you can do. So yeah, thank you for all the comments coming through about the quiz. Malcolm definitely had fun. There you go. It's all about having fun, isn't it? I know that some of you like to join in. It's a good way of socialising and spending time with some friends, or just having somebody to look at on the screen, even if it is just me and my ugly mug. So yeah, we got Liz is going for 903. Any more guesses on how long the Bromford Viaduct may be? 4,000 Liz has gone up to. Okay, Maddie's doing something with her hands to try and work out how long it might be. Oh, they forgot to tune in last week. Okay. There you go, Francesca. So maybe we'll say that you're the brains because you remember to tune in. So Colin's going for 13,000 feet. We've got Anne on 5,500 feet. Graham, size 12 feet. Ha ha ha. Mom's gone for 750 feet. Okay, just give you 10 more seconds and I'll reveal the answer. (3,500 feet). Okay. From Graham there. Right, here you go. So the Bromford Viaduct, the UK's longest bridge, it is actually 18,372 feet long.
20,000.
Maddie's put 20,000. I think that's the closest we've heard. Yeah, so it is actually about 3.5 miles long, straight through the middle of Castle Bromwich through to the middle of Birmingham there. Absolutely massive structure. Although most people don't realise it's a bridge because you're just travelling along a motorway. Yeah, absolutely huge thing. The second longest is the second Severn crossing, which I have not got the number in front of. But yeah, there you go. So 18,372 feet. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us tonight for our pub crawl quiz. For those of you who sent in the selfies earlier on, yeah, if you want to go out, find out where your pubs are, like I said, send in pictures. We'll share those again next week. If you've got any rounds that you want me to do, let me know, and I'll see what I can weave into the quiz for you. As you've seen, I will just try my best to get them in with whatever you give me. So yeah, thank you very much for joining in. I will see you same time next week for another Stay In quiz. There you go. Yeah, have a great week, everybody, and I'll speak to you next Friday. Keep an eye on the Facebook page and everything if you want any updates on what we'll be doing. But yeah, pictures of pubs would be amazing. Thank you. So I will sign off now. Have a good evening and goodbye.